Cam One Radio, the people's radio. Tune in now and be part of the conversation.
To amplify the voice of your business, to grant visibility for your products, to create awareness for your services, then contact Cam One TV, because Cam One TV is that place where you will position your business in the faces of your target market. Contact us on telephone number 677-627386. Cam One TV, taking your businesses to the limelight.
Okay. It's Cam. Here we go again for another edition of the Bilingual Press Review on Cam One Radio and Television. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Ekombe Charles Abane, always at the service of the community right here in Limbe. We begin today's edition with the Sun paper, which is actually a Limbe-based paper right here in the Opek City. The Sun, which has a lot of interesting stories today for us. The Sun, which says boosting educational sector. BR relaunches PhD programs, ENS direct recruitment studies, according to the Sun paper today. Now, at a swearing-in ceremony, President BR promises to uplift youth women in 8th mandate, fight against corruption, insecurity, to continue, reiterates call to armed groups to lay down arms, promises improvement in energy, water, and road sectors, warns troublemakers that order shall prevail, according to the Sun paper. The Sun also has another exclusive for us. CBC Executive President condemns barbaric and satanic killings of Field pastor. A must-read story on page 7 of the Sun. Meantime, we have another story here where they say the Limbe CPD and bigwigs salutes Bia's greatness. And of course, we have them showcased in their portraits, like Honorable Etombi Kome, CPDM Deputy Chief, who is one of those who salute Bia's greatness. Also, we have the City Council Mayor, Paul Efomeli Somengale, who has also been showcased here today. We also have Interim Section President of CPD Empako 1A, Ludwig Makaka Williams, who's also been showcased in the portrait format today on the Sun paper. We have By Ephraim Section President CPD Empako 1B, who's also part of this delegation who salutes Bia's greatness under the context of CPDM as the Cameroon People's Democratic Movement. Also, His Royal Majesty Isuka Matthias Etonge shines at 2025 Biaka University graduation, while FSNC spokesperson Jean-Moïse Mbok divorces Chiroma, and Alamin Usman May signs a 47 billion francs CFA deal on Monday, November 10 to fund CDC oil mill and margarine plant. A story quoted on page 8 of the Sun paper. Still on the Sun paper, we have a very tragic story here today. Fakla loses young, vibrant member, Barrister Kunga Ngasa. May his soul rest in peace, according to page 4 of the Sun. Now we have Guardian Post up next. Guardian Post reports today. New political configuration in the making, according to the Guardian Post paper of today's edition. Post of Vice President, Anglophone post of Prime Minister, a Northerner, and post of Vice President should be given to an Anglophone in the new political configuration in the making, according to the Guardian Post paper of this morning. This candidacy of the candidates of the Cameroon National Salvation Front, FSNC, Issa Chiloma Bakari, in the year's presidential election, in this year's presidential election, has set the apple cart of the BR regime in a way no one ever expected, seemingly to cope with the new political currents producing sparks countrywide and known some attitude as 8th mandate is rolling on. President Paul Biya is said to be considering several new options in the general framework of things. President Biya, the Guardian Post has it on good authority, is said to be working on a new geopolitical map to tackle head-on what the Chiluma effect has imposed on the nation. It should be recalled that the head of state, Paul Biya, said shortly after being sworn in last Thursday, November 6, 2025, that we will also submit to Parliament some reforms to enhance the state's efficiency by adapting our institutions to the demands of our environment. The environment analysts say is urgently begging for such reforms. That declaration of intent to introduce new bills in Parliament to ensure efficiency, it is being said, will most significantly be felt in the setup and the power structure of the country. How power is shared through several ego-political zones of the country, is also featuring on a prime spot among what Biya plans to do in the coming months. With Biya a Southerner at the helm of the state affairs, where some key positions go to in this new but complex mandate is the first of the most pressing equations on the president's table, the Guardian Post has been hinted. A story created on page 3 of the Guardian Post paper. Now, still on the Guardian Post, US-based Cameroonian gets America-based inmates honor, while US keeps election victory and congratulate Biya on inauguration, according to the Guardian Post paper. Still on the Guardian Post paper, October 12 post, Chiroma gives Biya 48-hour ultimatum to free all arrested, according to the Guardian Post, and do subdivision men in military attire shoot CBC pastor to death. Now, a must-read story here. A pastor of the Cameroon Baptist Convention CBC, whose name the Guardian Post got as Pastor Joe Desmond, has been shot to death. The clergy was shepherding the Tamba preaching station, a daughter church of Shindo Baptist Church, Kaka Association, under the due field of the CBC in Dongamantung Division of the Northwest region. We have other stories today. It says, Council of the Sages. I repeat, the Voice paper which is out today says, Council of appoints union government now, according to the Voice paper which is out there on the stands as we speak. The Biya vows massive boost to water, roads, energy to deliver 2035 emergence, according to the Voice paper of today. The Voice which says, on Thursday, November 6, 2025, in a solemn and highly attended deliberative chambers of the National Assembly, President Paul Biya performed the ritual for the 9th time in his career, taking the oath of office for his 8th consecutive mandate, so founded by the nation's political elite, members of the upper and lower houses of parliament, judiciary, and the government, led by Prime Minister Chief Dr. Joseph John Gote. Biya's address transcended a mere political ceremony. It served as a roadmap for the next 7 years, a plan focused on leveraging massive investment in strategic sectors to pull the nation toward its long-stated goal of emergence by 2035. You can continue reading this particular story on page 5 of the Voice paper, which is out on the stands as we speak. Still on the Voice, Chuma's ultimatum to Biya's regime: release all youths arrested or face consequences. Meantime, Fonju Wilson attends Biya swearing in. Applause focus on youth and farewell to a heroine. Funeral rites begins for Ma Justin Yo Abeng, mother of legal icon barrister Abeng Roland. A must-read story on the Voice. And the opinionated section of the Voice says Cameroon and the new 7-year mandate, the repairer, according to a story which was written by Dr. Ayok Takemeyan. I repeat, Dr. Ayok Takemeyan. Cameroon is so torn that this new 7-year mandate is called the repairer. The roots of corruption run deep. Uprooting them will be harder but our father, the President of the Republic, has promised to rise to the task. It is rare to find an adult Cameroonian who has completely served ties or severed ties with corruption. For instance, many people, especially those working in government institutions, believe it is smart to handle files only after demanding money from the owner. You can continue with this particular story today on page 2 of the Voice paper. The Herald Tribune is up next for review. The Herald Tribune, which says Paul Biya yesterday, today, and new, old, unfulfilled promises. In the Northwest region, new malaria treatment guide introduced to final year medical students. A story to the page 5. While Sueda, that the Southwest Development Authority, boosts 22 million francs CFA worth input, according to the Herald Tribune of today. The opinionated section of the Herald Tribune reports today that unforgettable betrayal open letter to Northwest, Southwest CPDM elites and Elecam officials on October 12, 2025. The World Watch, or perhaps pretended not to see as you desecrated the very soul of our broken democracy in the dark corners of our wounded land. Your shameless stuffed boxes and stole our voices to proclaim victory for a regime that had bled our people, silenced our youth, and transformed our once vibrant homeland into a valley of grief and ashes. That is what the opinionated section of the Herald Tribune reports today. There is also a special announcement today the paper, which you can grab a copy and read for yourselves. Separatist fighters ambushed and killed 4 Janams in Bambili. Another mosque with story today on page 2 of the Herald Tribune. The Horizon is up next for review. The Horizon says, soaring in speech, Bia sets up community dialogue to consolidate MND gains and efforts of today. Meantime, Ekine Agbo Ebai replies, Famin Dongo's contradictory ratings, or rantings rather, on Bia's legitimacy and the peace. A story rooted on page 2 of the Horizon paper. Still on the Horizon paper, we have another mosque with story. Minsante and Nestle discuss sustainability and health safety. And right of reply, Father Marshal Lesini disagrees with Ludovic Lado over postponement of papal visit to Cameroon. Meantime, Barrister Gobala, Michel Doki on the run. Shiruma and CNPS signs Memorandum of Understanding for Mineral Terminal Project in Kribi. A story rooted on page 9 of the Horizon. Meantime, Cameroonian employees launch investigation into post-electoral crisis losses. Next, the post says, Shiruma resurfaces, gives 48-hour ultimatum for release of unlawfully detained persons. That is what the post says today on the Center Foundation. Launches bold drive 7-year development vision for Cameroon, according to the Post paper. And issues at stake, pseudo intellectuals are cast as cast of political hawks. And Cameroonian Tommy Germain Adjang Aswe wins Hollywood Award at the International Impact Book Awards. A must-read story. And congratulations to Mr. Tommy Germain Adjang Aswe, who won these prestigious awards at the International Impact Book Awards at Hollywood in Los Angeles, California, in the United States of America. A beautiful one there that you can also read today on other gains in the Northwest and Southwest regions. Also, you can read that today on the municipal updates, which is out on the stands as we speak, more specifically on page 3 of its publication. Ahead of walking visit, Pope grants audience to Apostolic Nuncio to Cameroon. You can read all the contents of this particular story today on page 3 still of the municipal updates. Card payments slow as mobile money boosts, page 6 of municipal updates. While at 25th graduation, Higher Education Minister salutes B on the municipal updates, which is out on the stands as we speak. We have the Cameroon Tribune up next for review. Cameroon Tribune, which has a lot in store for us today. Cameroon Tribune, which says, medical care. Egypt's Coptic Church provides free services, according to the Cameroon Tribune. Residents of Yaoundé and its surroundings areas are currently benefiting from an exceptional healthcare initiative, part of the third Coptic medical mission in Cameroon from 9th to 15 November 2025 at the Yaoundé Central Hospital. The team is offering complimentary consultations and surgeries across a range of specialties. You can read the stories, this particular story today on pages 16 and 17, respectively, of the Cameroon Tribune, which is out on the stands as clarifies. In an interview granted to Radio France International on November 6, 2025, René Emmanuel Sadi said, despite diverse challenges, Cameroon is steadily on the path of progress. The government spokesperson, promotion des jeunes et des femmes, poursuite des efforts de paix, apaisement, du climat post-électoral, maintient de l'ordre sans, dans son discours d'investiture jeudi dernier, le président de la République a donné une idée de ses premières actions. Lit la suite des analyses sur la page 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 et 7 respectivement du Cameroun Tribune. Le mandat de Paul Biya, grosse attente, grandes espérances, c'est à voir sur la page 9 du Cameroun Tribune de ce jour et aussi barrage du Mondial 2026. La pression monte des délégations du Cameroun, du Nigeria, de la RDC et du Gabon ont commencé à rallier Rabat hier soir. La capitaine marocaine a accueilli le tournoi de jeudi prochain avec les demi-finales Cameroun, RDC et Nigeria, Gabon. Vous voyez les pages 30 et 31 respectivement du Cameroun Tribune. On a Émergence au rendez-vous ce matin sur Cameroun Radio et Télévision. Émergence qui nous dit crise post-électorale, le nouvel ultimatum de Chiroma à Paul Biya. Selon Émergence de ce matin, le leader du FSNC qui continue à revendiquer sa victoire a donné 48 heures à son adversaire pour la libération de tous les prisonniers arrêtés pour leurs opinions politiques. Selon Émergence de ce jour, qui nous en dit plus. Coopération de l'ambassadeur chinois chez Atanganji, page 2 nous en dit plus sur émergence. Route communale, budget en hausse, page 6 de l'émergence. Et filière bois, les exportations baissent, la page 7 nous dit en détail. Professeur Patrick Abane Ngolo, le droit public au Cameroun est central. L'enseignant chercheur bien sûr la décentralisation, construction de notre pays, la diversité des secrets de la production. C'est à voir sur les pages 8 et 9 de l'émergence. L'heure du Sahel, toujours au rendez-vous. L'heure du Sahel, qui nous parle aujourd'hui de des 4 directeurs d'école relevés à Garoua, c'est dans le nord du pays, Cameroun, et toujours sur l'heure du Sahel, malversation financière selon les titres de l'heure du Sahel. Adamawa, c'est plaignante que lègue la présidentielle de 2025 et aussi Mayo Moscoto Mora, 2 personnes tuées et 2 enlevées, toujours dans l'extrême nord du pays. Benue, l'école reprend ce jour après la crise électorale. Page de discours nous en dit plus. Et c'est un soulagement pour les gens de l'extrême nord, puisque l'école reprend ce jour selon le Sahel. L'UNDP doit se remettre au travail pour préparer 3 élections. L'interview de Koji Wandala, conseiller régional à l'extrême nord. Page 10 nous en dit plus sur du Sahel. Sans détour et aussi au rendez-vous de l'Union générale, gouvernement de continuité ou de rupture, gouvernement de large ouverture ou d'union nationale, l'équation compliquée que le président réélu devra résoudre sans jeter les calculs légitimes de ses amis politiques d'aujourd'hui, tout en tenant compte des grandes aspirations de nombreux Camerounais et cadres ce scoop politique que nous propose sans le tour de ce matin. Toujours sur sans le tour, ramènement ministériel, le défi cornélien de Paul Biya, selon sans le tour de ce matin, l'employabilité des jeunes, l'attractivité du secteur commercial, le mine-commerce évoque dans un communiqué presse rendu public. Vous pouvez lire le presse rendu public de Luc Magua Bagatangana. Ce jour, ministre de Commerce. Et aussi 98 jeunes volontaires honorés pour les vacances jeunes 2025, volontariat vacances jeunes 2025, c'est à voir sur la page de ça de tout de ce matin, qui nous en dit plus. La CDHC contre les atteintes à la dignité humaine, Moyen Kobila a critiqué ouvertement toutes les personnes qui se sont livrées aux actions contre productivité et qui promeuvent la violation des droits de l'homme. C'est à voir sur la page 10 de Sans Détour. Association des journalistes patriotes du Cameroun, tension post-électorale, lit tout ce que les journalistes ont à vous dire aujourd'hui sur Sans Détour. Parlons à présent d'autre chose sur Cameroun Radio Télévision, Nouvelle Expression, et aussi au rendez-vous aujourd'hui, comme d'habitude, Nouvelle Expression qui dit prestation de serment, lui, essaie de démontrer le discours de Biya. Selon Nouvelle Expression de ce jour, la présidente nationale de l'Union démocratique du Cameroun a rendu en 6 points au discours d'investiture de Paul Biya le 6 novembre dernier. C'est à voir sur la page 9 de Nouvelle Expression. Crise post-électorale, au point sur les arrestations à Yaoundé, page 4. Réélection de Biya, la position diplomatique des États-Unis, page 3. Prochain septennat, un saut dans la nuit, page 8. Pour l'éternité, la verdict au banc repose à Ndiki, page 2, sur le journaliste, la verdict au banc qui repose désormais à Ndiki, selon la Nouvelle Expression, que son âme repose en paix au journaliste, au grand journaliste au banc la verdict, qui a été sur beaucoup des antennes dans ce modeste pays. Parlons à présent d'autre chose sur notre programme bilingue de la revue de presse. On a l'économie quotidienne aujourd'hui sur notre rendez-vous aussi l'économie quotidienne qui dit Tchad Connexion 2030. Le Tchad en queue d'investisseurs pour son plan national de développement selon l'économie quotidienne de ce jour. L'économie quotidienne qui en parle plus de cette affaire à l'initiative du président de la République, Mahamat Idriss Déby, sous la coordination de Taï Hamid Guillen, ministre des Finances pour du budget, de l'économie du plan s'ouvre aujourd'hui à Abu Dhabi, un forum sur le commerce et les investissements selon la page 3. Guinée équatoriale, Alain Francis Ngondi, on a nommé directeur général par intérim de Tradex en Guinée équatoriale. Au Congo, une redevance de 20% sur les transferts de fonds institués. Agropastoral, plaidoyer des acteurs du secteur pour un programme national de section des jeunes selon l'économie quotidienne. Toujours sur l'économie quotidienne, Cameroun, la fracture amère des importations des produits pharmaceutiques selon la page 4 de l'économie quotidienne qui nous en dit plus aujourd'hui sur cette modeste papier. Le financier d'Afrique qui parle toujours sur finance et l'économie, politique publique, proposition d'un septennat d'emploi de 10 000 jeunes par an dès 2026. Selon le financier d'Afrique, en conséquence, seulement 1% de son budget annuel pour encadrer 6 000 jeunes par région dans l'agriculture, la pêche, l'élevage et l'artisanat. L'État pourrait créer des professionnels dont la production augmentera l'offre locale tout en réduisant considérablement les importations en droite ligne avec la politique l'import-substitution, selon le financier d'Afrique de ce jour. Toujours sur le financier d'Afrique, on a beaucoup à nous dire. Afrique centrale, le nouvel arsenal de la BEAC et de la COBAC pour juguler les effets du changement climatique, selon la page 3. Emprunt obligatoire, le Congo retrouve la confiance des marchés financiers internationaux. Marché boursier, BGF Holding ouvre 10% de son capital public. C'est à lire sur la page 3 du financier d'Afrique. Au Gabon, hydrocarbures, le Gabon maintient la subvention de produits pétroliers selon le financier d'Afrique de ce jour. Parlons à présent santé qui va toujours clôturer notre émission. Santé avec Éco Santé. Révolution numérique, le JIPAM au cœur d'un projet innovant. C'est à lire aujourd'hui sur Éco Santé numéro et aussi premier secours. Ces gestes importants que tout le monde doit connaître. C'est à lire sur la page 5 d'Éco Santé. Et la 19e édition de ces jours d'activisme, le Cameroun mobilise pour un espace numérique sécurisé et inclusif. La 19e édition de la campagne mondiale 16 jours d'activisme contre les violences faites aux femmes et aux filles, qui se tiendra du 25 novembre au 10 décembre 2025 pour mettre fin à la violence numérique à l'égard de toutes les femmes et filles du monde entier. C'est à revoir sur la page 4 d'Éco Santé qui clôture cette édition de la revue de presse bilingue sur Cam1 Radio et Télévision. Mesdames et messieurs, pour la présentation, j'étais comme Charles Ballet. Je serai ici encore demain, même temps, cette prestigieuse chaîne Cam1 Radio et Télévision pour une autre édition bilingue pour la revue de presse dans Limbe et partout au Cameroun. Rendez-vous demain. Passez une agréable journée.